Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to share with you some empties, all the empties that I have so far this year. Almost everything is makeup. I have a couple, or really just one skincare product to share with you as well, but a lot of it empties recently. So if you guys want to know what beauty products I've used up so far this year, then just keep on watching. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the one skincare product that I have, and then I'll get into all of the makeup. So this is from Tata Harper. I always say this brand wrong. I always say Tatcha Harper, and I just like make a fusion of two different skincare brands. They're both very pricey brands, but this is Tata Harper. This is their clarifying cleanser. So back around the holidays, I got a gift set from Tata Harper as a gift, and once I used this whole cleanser up and I went to Sephora because I really loved it and I wanted to repurchase it, I realized that this brand is super pricey. So I really did like this cleanser. I was breaking out a lot around the holidays and this helped so much. I actually have different products from Tata Harper that I got in that gift set, like a face mask, a moisturizer that I'm scared to use because they're such pricey products and I don't want to become obsessed with them. So I really do like this cleanser a lot. It is geared towards acne prone skin. I don't necessarily have acne prone skin, but just when I was breaking out a lot, this was super helpful, but it is so pricey. I think it's like around $70. So this was definitely pretty pricey, but I did enjoy it. I don't plan on repurchasing it anytime soon, but I might again in the future or for a VIB sale and just use it not so casually, not have it be my like every single day cleanser, but just have it as a cleanser whenever I am breaking out, because I felt like it really did help my skin clear up quicker. All right, so next I'm moving into a couple foundations. One is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I wear the shade Golden Beige. I'm already on my next bottle. I love this foundation so much. This is one of the few foundations that's full coverage, looks natural, and makes my skin look like porcelain. Like, it still looks like skin, but it looks poreless at the same time. It doesn't look like I have a ton of foundation sitting on my face. It just gives you like a filtered effect, but it still is like a demi matte finish, so it's really hydrating as well. Love this foundation. I'm already like on my way into the next bottle of this. I love it. And then also another foundation that I loved all year. I didn't wear so much in the winter, but I wore it all the time in the summer. And then back over the holidays when I was in South America, this was my holy grail foundation. Well, it was the only foundation I brought with me when I was traveling, and I just used the last little bit today. This is the Cover FX Power Play foundation. I wear the shade G40. Really love this foundation. Both of the foundations I'm mentioning, like, they have a ton of shades, a ton of undertones, but really love this one if you want something that's full coverage and matte. Not it doesn't transfer, and also it's something that stays in place all day, and it feels very comfortable. It doesn't feel heavy on your skin. It doesn't look heavy on your skin, and even though it is matte, it's still comfortable and breathable, which I love in a foundation. Like, I can't stand where I could just feel foundation sitting on my skin. So this is a really great one if you want something that's matte and comfortable, especially like summertime, when you're outside a lot or you need something that's like sweat proof. I definitely recommend that. That's something I would definitely repurchase again in the future too. I still have so many foundations to work through right now, so I'm not gonna repurchase it like in the next couple months, but once I run out of maybe like one or two more foundations, I will definitely go back to that one, because that one I loved. Obviously I used it up. And then I also have two concealers that I used up. One I was so sad that I used up because this is one of my favorites, if not my holy grail concealer, and I will definitely repurchase this. This is the Jouer High Coverage Concealer. I do have a whole review and swatch video of all of these concealers, and this is awesome. It's like the most full coverage concealer in my collection, but it still is really creamy. It doesn't look dry on your skin. It doesn't look heavy. It doesn't look too matte. It is pretty matte, but it's not drying at all. So really like this one. I use the shade Toast. It does have like a big doe foot applicator, like Tarte Shape Tape. It's not as big as Shape Tape, but it's still like a pretty decent size. And especially whenever I can't get foundation to stay in place on my nose, if I apply like a tiny like line of concealer on my nose and then blend it out, it just stays perfectly in place all day long. Even if I'm like putting on sunglasses or anything that would normally like take off my makeup, this sticks to my skin until I wash it off. So love this concealer so much, especially if you have like texture breakouts. This one is awesome. It's always my saving grace. Also, Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I wear the shade Light Beige. I used the last little bit of this as well today. This one is also really full coverage, pretty matte concealer as well. Ooh, I might have actually like one more use out of this bottle, but I was like scraping out the edges because I do love this concealer so much. And this one might be a little bit more hydrating than the Jouer High Coverage Concealer, but honestly I don't find either of them drying at all. Neither of them are concealers that I have to blend super quickly, which I really like. It's not something that like dries the second that you put it on, which is normally the case with a lot of full coverage concealers. So both are amazing concealers. They're pretty similar, but the Jouer one is just like a little bit more coverage compared to this one. This one is still really good coverage as well. And then I also have a setting powder. I'm just like going in the order that I do my makeup. But the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder, I think this is my second jar that I've used up, and I just finished this recently. I really like this. This is a really great setting powder for every skin type because it sets your makeup, it keeps your skin matte, but it doesn't dry out your skin at all. So really like this. This is great for under eye setting powder, for all over setting powder. Right now I'm using my Too Faced Born This Way setting powder again. This one's a little bit more matte compared to this one, so just keep that in mind if you prefer something more matte. This is slightly more matte, but this, it's not like it leaves my skin dewy or anything. It still leaves my skin matte for sure. I use the whole thing up. Love it. I will definitely use it again in the future. It's one of my favorite setting powders because even though it is mattifying, it doesn't dry out my skin. Like if I apply a little too much, it doesn't look heavy or dry. So definitely recommend that one. It works great with like every combination of concealer, primer, foundation. It's just like a staple product for me. And then next we have a blush that you guys have seen me use a ton. I've had the last little bit in my collection forever, but it's finally time to part ways. I basically used the whole thing up last year and I'm like, okay, let me finally declutter this. So this is the Butter Blush from Physicians Formula. This one does not have a name on the back, but it's just like a mauve shade. I love, ooh, a little bit just fell out. I love this formula so much. It's very silky and creamy for sure. I just love the butter line from Physicians Formula. I hope that they come out with like a butter setting powder, which may seem counterintuitive because it seems like it's gonna be like too, I don't know, buttery. But I do feel like if Physicians Formula came out with a butter setting powder, it would be very similar to the Flawless Airbrush powder from Charlotte Tilbury, because that's what this formula reminds me of. It's like very silky, very has like an airbrush look to it. Doesn't look like makeup on your skin. It just looks like natural color on your skin. Has a little bit of a sheen to it, but it still has like a natural finish. It's not too much. So really love this formula so much. I especially love this shade. I don't think everybody loves this shade because it's more cool tone, a little too mauve maybe, but on my complexion it works well because I do have like really warm undertones, so more of a bronzy subtle look works well for me. Definitely love that formula, and I love the smell of all the butter products from Physicians Formula as well. Next up, I'm finally decluttering something that I should have decluttered like a year ago. You guys always see this palette and it's so busted in my collection. So this is the Lorac Contour Palette that you guys have probably seen in my everyday makeup drawer throughout the years. It's been broken for like at least a year because I stepped on it one day, but I didn't have it in me to throw it out. Obviously I loved this light contour shade and then all of the highlighter shades. I will repurchase this probably within the next year. Right now I have other contour kits that I love. The Smashbox Cali Contour Kit, I use that every single day. Love my Kevyn Aucoin contour products as well. Those are my go-tos right now. So I might not be repurchasing this like next month, but I loved this palette to death. It's like the only Lorac product that I have left in my collection, and I got it the week it came out. I reviewed this on my channel. It might not still exist on my channel, but about 4 years ago I reviewed this on my channel, and I still absolutely stand by this palette. There's been so many other contour products I have released in the past 4 years, but this is obviously the one I kept going back to because the formula is super pigmented, creamy, and blendable. It's a very buttery formula, and that's what I love in contour kits because it is forgiving. Like if you do apply a little too much, you could blend it out really easily. It's gonna look really natural on your skin. It's not gonna look like contour sitting on top of your face. And then the setting powders in here are beautiful as well to set under your eyes or to set your eyelids. They're just like very smooth and buttery and kind of give you like a little bit of an airbrush finish. So love this contour kit so much. I loved it to death, but it's finally time to part ways. I did have somebody say in one of my everyday makeup drawer videos that I shared this palette, I think it was back in December, and they're like, you should be careful because the glass is broken and it could get all over your face. And I'm like, ugh, yeah, let me not blend my contour with like little shards of glass. I haven't noticed that there was like any glass or anything in this palette, but it just made me paranoid because I didn't think of that before. So thank you for looking out for me if you did leave me that comment. So I think it's just for safety reasons and just because that palette is so gross and I've had it for 4 years, I should probably part ways with it. I have so many other contour kits in my collection. Another powder product. You guys have seen this a lot in my collection as well, and I finally just like have used it to death. This is the Burt's Bees mattifying powder. So I use this just as much as I use my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush Powder. I believe that's what it's called. Some combination of those words, but those are like my two holy grail setting powders. One is like 60 bucks, one is like $6. And I love them both equally, honestly. But this Burt's Bees powder is absolutely amazing. It is mattifying, so anytime I touch up my makeup throughout the day, this is my go-to powder because it adds a little bit more coverage. It makes my skin matte, but it doesn't look like more makeup on my skin. And anytime I do that, I always just take my like damp beauty blender, I rub it in here, and then just pat it on my face for a little extra coverage. I love this. This is great to set under my eyes, set this under my face, just really touch up throughout the day. This is my go-to powder whenever I'm on the go or traveling, or if I'm like on a plane and I don't want to really apply a lot of makeup, I'll just go in with this powder and just apply it all over my face for a little bit of coverage. So really like this setting powder from Burt's Bees. It's awesome. It has a really silky finish. It looks really natural on your skin. It's one of the best powder foundations I've found, and it really, to me, compares to the Charlotte Tilbury powder. All right, so next up I have a couple of my holy grail brow and eye products, and I don't think I ever use any of these products on camera because like brows, eyeliner, mascara, I never do on camera, but these are the products that I run out of the most frequently. So my favorite brow pencil is the Goof Proof Brow Pencil from Benefit. I've gone through like 7 tubes of this over the years. I love this because, well, there's none left, so I can't even show you, but it's basically kind of like the Anastasia Brow Definer, where it's not a precise brow pencil. It's more of like a triangular shape, so you can just like fill in your brows in like 30 seconds. So I've gone through so many. I love that pencil so much. I am using the Precisely My Brow Pencil now too because I ran out of that, but definitely the Goof Proof is my favorite. And then next, this is actually, I think, one of the first ever high-end beauty products that I owned, and I've been repurchasing for 7 years now. So this is the Stila Smudge Stick Waterproof Eyeliner in the shade Lionfish. This is my holy grail favorite eyeliner of all time. It's just a dark brown eyeliner that has a little bit of a shimmer and glitter to it, and that's what I use every single day, unless I'm doing like yellow eyeshadow. I don't know what I would be doing that I don't wear brown eyeliner, but 90% of the time, if not 99% of the time, I just do like a shimmery brown liner, and I find that it goes with absolutely everything. All right, so there's like a tiny bit left, and it doesn't look that exciting at all. It's just like a coppery, slightly shimmery brown, and I love shimmery brown eyeliners instead of just a regular matte brown because I feel like it doesn't close off my eyes as much. Right now I'm wearing a matte brown, and I felt like I had to go in with like a lot of highlighter around my eyes to just not make them look so small, but a shimmery brown liner still gives me like that darker dramatic effect. but it adds a little bit of reflection whenever I put it on under my eyes, and that way it doesn't like make my eyes look even smaller. So that's why I love this. Stays put all day. It's one of the easiest eyeliners that glides on my eyes really easily. And I do rotate between some drugstore eyeliners as well, but that has been my holy grail eyeliner for 7 years. It's not something I always have in my collection because I don't always want to repurchase a like $22 eyeliner when I could use something for like $5 that's a very similar look. But this formula is my absolute favorite for sure out of anything that I've tried, I think ever, honestly. That is my holy grail eyeliner for sure. And then next, another eyeliner that I really, really like. So this is from Smashbox. This is the second one that I have. This is called their Always On Liquid Eyeliner in the shade of black. It's just a black liquid liner. I use black liquid liner every single day to cover up shadow or lash glue on my lash band. You guys never really see me do wing liner because it's just like 5 extra minutes of my life that I don't have every day. Or maybe 15 minutes whenever I mess it up. So I don't want to take my chances. But I do put on this eyeliner on a daily basis. Like I always have a little bit of black eyeliner in my inner corner just to like close off the gap between my lashes. And this is definitely one of my favorites because it just glides on really nicely. It dries really quickly. It's really easy and really precise to use. So I'm on my second one of these. Really, really like that eyeliner. And then I also have one of my holy grail mascaras that I've repurchased for years. Every time I run out of this, I buy it right away. It's not like the eyeliner that I could kind of get away with. This is something I always need in my collection. This is Makeup Forever Excessive Lash. I'm not sure if I said that already, but love this mascara. This one is everything, especially for bottom lashes. I'm not wearing it today. I'm wearing a new mascara. I'll show you guys my favorites. That's from the drugstore. But this for bottom lashes, if you have longer bottom lashes and you like that doll effect where it's like curly and just like very precise, this is awesome because it's not one of those flimsy mascaras for bottom lashes that just kind of coats your lashes. Like the bristles are really intertwined. I'm so passionate about this mascara, but the bristles are so intertwined, but it's also super precise. So it's gonna get those like little baby lashes in your inner corner that you cannot get with like the Too Faced Better Than Sex or something. This is an amazing, amazing mascara. All right, so lastly, I have something that I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with, and I don't have this in my life right now, and I'm kind of freaking out about it. I'm trying to resist the urge to buy a new one like tomorrow, basically. This is MAC Fix Plus, something that I always need in my collection. And because I have so many setting sprays and like primer waters and just facial sprays in my collection right now, I'm trying to use something else up before I buy a new Fix Plus, but I feel like nothing compares to this. So this is the coconut one that I finished up. This is my second coconut bottle that I've used up, and I'm pretty sure the coconut one is permanent. If not, I'm gonna be really sad. I also love the original one so much, and really the reason I can't live without this is because I use Fix Plus on my brush every single day for my lid color, for my eyeshadow, and I feel like other setting sprays don't give me the same effect of my eyeshadow as Fix Plus, because it's definitely not the same as like, I don't know, some other setting sprays almost feel like water where it just wets my eyeshadow. It gives it like a little bit more pigmentation, but it doesn't give me that foiled metallic effect that Fix Plus gives me. And I don't know if it's just something in my head that makes me want to believe that so that I go and purchase this again, but I really feel like nothing compares to Fix Plus when it comes to wetting my brush for eyeshadow. But definitely let me know if there's any other spray other than Fix Plus that you guys like for your eyeshadows to make them more pigmented and more foiled. I've also tried the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray, which is like my holy grail setting spray. I love that so much, but I don't like it as much for wetting my brush. I don't know why. I think it's just like in my head, but it might be a reality. So let me know if any of you guys can like back me up on this, that there's nothing that compares to Fix Plus for wetting your brush. So I'd love to know if you guys have another option, because I have so many other setting sprays in my collection that I love to use for my face, but not for eyeshadow. This is just amazing for eyeshadow for sure. All right guys, so that is gonna be everything for this empties video. It's definitely not a huge empties, but I was so tired of seeing these empty bottles in my collection. I'm like, I need to declutter these. I need to talk about these and stop holding on to them just so I can like compile more makeup trash essentially. So you guys will see more empties like probably every 2 or 3 months. Sometimes I forget and I end up throwing away the bottles and stuff, but I definitely want to do them at least quarterly so you guys can see like what products I'm actually using up in my collection. And I do plan on doing some more declutter videos very soon because my drawers are getting really full and I'm ready to like just curate my collection a little bit better and organize my palettes and everything like that. So you guys will be seeing some declutters this spring for sure. But that's gonna be everything for this video. If you guys liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.